NewsBiscuit. Real fake news.
Welcome to NewsBiscuit, the UK's original fake news. NewsBiscuit, the most embarrassing thing in your browsing history. I'm your host, Wrenfoe, and I'm joined by three people who didn't make the cut for the Edinburgh Fringe. Dan Sweryt.
Hello.
Sketchly.
Hello.
And FlashArry.
Good morning.
This month sees exam results tumble as kids revert to pre-COVID levels of stupidity. Russia crashes a rocket into the moon as opposed to the Ukraine. And the Lionesses prove that with the right level of support and funding, they can be every bit as disappointing as the men. Which I feel is harsh because they did very well. They did very well. I suspect at this point, I know they wanted to win everything. I suspect they feel they've dodged a bullet because if they had won the World Cup, they would have just got snogged by James Cleverly, wouldn't they?
What's happened is the women's football was supposed to appeal to women and get them into football. And what's happened in our house is my wife and the two daughters have no interest in the football and daddy's watching more football. That's what's happened.
Hasn't necessarily inspired people who weren't into football. If you didn't like football before, still don't like football.
But daddy's had 4 weeks more football.
Yeah.
Just before the Premier League season starts.
Well, that's it. It's continuous now, isn't it? I mean, that's the great thing. Me and my wife say we can now watch football all year round.
All
we
year
don't
round,
have to. But I just use continuity of where the seasons. I mean, I don't mean football
Yeah,
seasons are, but I don't know now where autumn and summer is. It's just football. That's what my calendar is. I've just scrubbed out all the months. I've written football. What month were you born in? Football.
Football, yeah.
When is Christmas? Football.
Yeah, gone are the 2 weeks in August where you just stare blankly at the wall and think, oh, I'm missing something.
Yeah, where's the football?
yeah, don't have that anymore.
Why is the Women's World Cup gone over the beginning of the Premier League season? Because that's double football.
That's made it impossible on Saturday to do a shop now because me and my wife, we start football in the morning and then we go, we must go out. Oh, there's more football. And then we just plow on through to the evening and we fall asleep.
Especially with these Australian time zones. What are they thinking?
Well, they're thinking we can have a day of football is what they're thinking. First round is News in Brief, where our panelists select their favourite headlines. FlashArry, we'll start with you.
It's not eye-rolling. It's trying to see eye to eye with ministers, say civil servants. Government threatens to nationalise NHS if performance doesn't improve.
That is the natural full circle of capitalism, isn't it? We've privatised everything. We fuck it up. Oh, let's nationalise everything. Yeah. And then we'll privatise again, rinse and repeat.
Unnecessary sports utility vehicle zone to be extended to the whole of the UK. Japan finally breeds a Godzilla with the Fukushima fallout.
Yeah, they've put thousands of metric sort of tons of radiated water into the Pacific Ocean or whatever.
Millions, I heard.
Millions.
Yeah, you're a factor of 10 out. Well, you're a factor of 1,000 out.
Oh, you sound like my wife complaining about sex again. And are they taking at least sort of leaf out as kind of Southern Waters book in terms of when you release the sewage? Are they just going to pump it onto sort of Chinese beaches and South Korean beaches?
Have you actually heard the latest about that? They're actually talking about using sewage water to fight fires now. To save on clean water, they're now talking about using sewage water.
I love the smell of burning poo in the morning.
That's it. As long as your fire's on the coast, it's fine. But how are you going to pipe it to Coventry?
Well, I mean, shit happens. And I'm just trying to get how much fun that is then for firemen.
No, they're not going to be hosing each other down anymore, are they?
No. Do they do that as a thing?
I don't know. I was thinking
on the special calendar you bought.
I'm not having a good day.
That would be a very different calendar.
Sketchly, what have you got?
Sunak commiserates with Lionesses, saying he struggles to achieve goals too.
I have enjoyed all the politicians trying to do the I love football thing. Probably the most insincere dance you'll ever see a politician do. And what's really funny is Keir Starmer, who apparently actually genuinely does like a bit of football and he plays a little bit of football aside, because he is the most insincere politician out there. He just comes across as he's lying. He's like, yes, I used to play football all the time. You're like, no, you didn't. And of course, there's photographs of him playing football and you still don't believe it because you just assume it's a U-turn. turn.
It was Daniel Finkelstein was talking on a podcast, and he's saying they are Cincinnati football fans, but they can't risk not knowing everything about the game. So when he was working with the Conservatives, and William Hague apparently does like Rotherham United, but Daniel Finkelstein had to learn everything about Rotherham United so that he couldn't be caught out by a Rotherham United.
Oh my word, that's so strange. What David Cameron's one was the best one though, wasn't it?
He didn't, but it was Aston Villa, but he mixed it with West Ham, or was it the other way around?
Yeah, that's going to get you thumped on match day. If nothing else. I must say, I would have a bit of fun with some politicians if they didn't know. Yeah, if I was an advisor and I knew they didn't didn't know the football. And they'd say, "Oh, just pick a team for me." I'm going, "Yeah, Millwall. Millwall's your team. And we'll arrange for a couple of photo shoots of you down there on the terraces. Good luck."
Here are a few things they shout on the terraces.
Yes.
No, don't say that one.
You might want.
Yeah, you can have a lot of fun with that.
Man convinces his boss that he doesn't need to attend negotiating skills course. And Russia sends freedom of information request to MI6.
Dan, what have you got?
Compensation scheme for people taken in by dodgy compensation schemes. Lionesses leave fans at Heathrow in acres of space. Another football one. Pepsi workers sacked after testing positive for coke. Moon crashes into Rusky Lunar 25 craft during special lunar operation.
Yes, they would put the blame on the moon.
On the moon, yeah. Record number of scouts earn first aid badge.
Now, this is in reference to the World Scout Jamboree that was in South Korea, where did they all catch fire or something? What was it?
Didn't it become the International Dysentery Conference?
They must have upskilled very quickly, those Cubs and Scouts, in that scenario. Can you cook human flesh badge and all that sort of thing? It looked like things went bad fast.
Was that a picture of an Argentinian rugby team, or was it Uruguayan rugby team?
Yeah. Yeah, it's all gone a bit Hunger Gamesy. Only one scout emerges at the end, and they get to be Arcala.
Bear Grylls.
Yeah, that must be interesting for Scouts and Cubs, where shit actually suddenly gets real. And you've got all these badges, but really it's all a bit make-believe, and you're just playing at survival. Now you are surviving. Yeah, and a woggle. What's the point of a woggle? It's not going to help you in that scenario at all. Unless I guess you're garrotting another scout to steal his sandwiches. Then it's a useful thing. There's an image. Dib, dib, dib is the last words that pass their lips. I was a cub. I don't think I ever graduated to scout, though. I
didn't realise there was like an exam for it.
I don't know. Is there a height thing? Something I don't know.
I just read that. It sounded like you had to pass your GCSEs to do your A levels. You have to pass your whatever to do your scouts.
Well, I think it was the difference between going to a comprehensive and going to a grammar school. I think when I finished Cubs, I just sort of walked out the building and then walked into employment, I think. Whereas,
as a chimney sweep.
Yeah. Whereas I think other people who'd gone to the posher grammar Cubs version, they got to progress to Scout University or whatever. So yeah, that's my understanding of it. It's all a bit sketchy because it's.
Now you said grammar Cubs, it's a lot more appealing to me.
Imagine moving your house to get it into the right catchment area to get into grammar Cubs.
Don't start this fire here. You want to start it over the other side of the M25.
Our next round is True Biscuit, where our panelists to guess which is a real headline and which is a fake one. Dan, we start with you.
Bear escapes from crate on a plane.
So this isn't snakes on a plane. There's
bears from a crate on a plane, because bears doesn't rhyme with plane.
And that's the only reason. That's the only reason it didn't make the movie.
I think it's not Cocaine Bear. We're not going down that path.
No,
the third podcast in a row.
I know. I think yes, we've enjoyed that a little bit too much.
Normal bear escapes from crate on a plane.
I guess you have to transport bears around. You don't need to transport bears around. They're perfectly happy in their natural environment. But it's assuming you have to transport a bear. Is plane the best way? Shouldn't it be in a horse box or something? I mean, a bear box, whatever it would be. But
I think the thing about crates is they're fairly universal for stuff. Otherwise, you'd be talking about really specific infrastructure all around the world.
they have problems with the amount of luggage you carry anyway. I thought these planes, they don't have a lot of space. How much extra you have to pay for a bear? Is it some sort of thing where on Ryanair, they've got a list of stuff you can't carry on and they haven't included bears and someone's gone, brilliant, loophole. Okay, so the bear's in the hold, I'm guessing, rather than sitting in the aisle. In a crate.
So we can rule out Ryanair.
Right, okay. So the bear's in the hold. It must have been sedated. Yes?
No. He was not.
Just raging in the hold.
He was raging.
And everyone in the place going, is that turbulence? It's very growly for turbulence.
The crate next door had a picnic basket inside.
That's it,
and that's why he escaped.
And there was porridge in the next one.
He smelt marmalade. Yes, this plane isn't the right size, but this one's just right. So Bosch, bear is out. Where can it go once it's in the hold? Does it just create havoc, or does it just like dress up in people's outfits? It gets to the other end and
starts opening the other crates.
He's
with
wearing
a
his
crowbar.
swim shorts and because if you did get to the other end and you're waiting for your luggage and you see this bear wearing your luggage, you're not going to say anything, are you? You're not going to confront him.
He's leaping around, and then apparently they had to sedate the animal and remove it from the plane.
So now they sedate the animal.
Not when it's when it's in dangerous.
So does that mean that there were a trolley dolly sitting there with a dart gun the whole time, going, "Why am I holding this?" And it didn't occur.
Don't worry,
them.
it won't get out.
Somewhere there's a zoo with a taxidermist bear that's doing nothing.
It's dressed up. Is it the Chinese zoo where there's a man dressed up in a bear suit?
Oh,
that's where the bear was going.
I like the idea that somewhere there's a zoo and there's in an enclosure there's a family waiting to go to Tenerife. And they go,
crate.
Okay, well, bear, plane. I mean, it's very dramatic. It's very exciting, and we will be making a film of this, definitely.
Add cocaine into it, and it's a sequel.
Well, and you've got the opportunity for a sex scene, haven't you? You've got the Mile High Club. Where there's some amorous person waiting in the toilet and the bear bursts in. And initially the person's really like scared and conflicted. And then they're like, well, no, it's an opportunity. You can't just pass this up.
It's a panda, so nothing's going to happen.
What kind of bear was it, by the way?
It says here, bear.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the kind of detail you can expect on Newsbiscuit.
It wasn't Bear Grylls on his way to the Cubs thing, was it?
Yes, furious, knowing that those cubs are suffering.
I want it to be true simply because I like the idea of the bear rampaging through the crates.
Isn't plane travel scary enough for you, Harry, that you've got to put a rampaging bear into the scenario?
I'm going to go with true. The thing is, I mean, could you imagine being the guy waiting at the conveyor belt for this big crate to come around? And it comes and it's empty.
And you're like, oh, shit.
Walk away.
Or it's just full of crate and everyone else has got something nice in theirs. And it's like a version of, Russian roulette, but with a bear. It was true.
Oh.
It was.
Hey.
Iraq's prime minister has now waded into a row over who's responsible for a bear getting loose in the cargo hold of a plane.
Was it his bear? I mean, I like the idea that the politician had to wade in instantly and go, nothing to do with me. No one suggested it was. Now we're
concerned.
It's suspicious. There wasn't anyone in that hold of the bear. Nobody letting the bear out for a little bit of fun and games. Nobody at all. Why are you telling us this? Why you just?
There's a bit that gets you very excited at the end of the report that says a video clip circulating on social media showed the plane's captain apologizing to passengers.
I was hoping there was video footage actually of the bear.
That's what I think they want you to read.
Frankly, clickbait.
It is, yeah. I mean, 17 paragraphs down, but still clickbait.
Yeah, you really got to want it at that stage. I feel you've been baited at that point with your 17 paragraphs.
Bear baited.
Bear baited, yeah.
Yeah. Well done, excellent. That is the pun of the day. And
I should take it to the Fringe.
Yeah. FlashArry. Tell us your story.
Man had sex on neighbour's bollard in angry parking row.
What? He had sex on a bollard?
Yes.
A bollard? Isn't a bollard the orangey pointy thing?
Yes.
Not the concrete ones. The concrete ones.
No, it was
whatever you like,
one.
Dad. I mean,
Or those automatic ones that go up and down. Because that
oh
sounds
my
like
words.
You're getting a bit kinky here now.
And was it? Did you say angry sex?
Is there any other kind?
Angry sex at the parking dispute. Yes.
Yeah, angry sex. Very specific kind of sex there.
Yeah, it was.
So Harry, was he having an argument and he was aroused by the argument and then impaled himself on the bollard in a sexual way? Is that
or was he angry because the bollard was having sex with him?
What? He hadn't asked for it, and the bollard.
Non-consensual bollard sex. Oh,
yeah. Maybe the sex was the first bit, and the dispute came because of the sex.
Yeah, because look what your bollard's done.
Exactly. Yeah.
See, that sounds like one of those lame excuses here when people go to hospital with things inserted inside of them, and then they always say, "Doctor, oh, it wasn't me. I slipped and fell." And you're suggesting that bollard inserted itself into him.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
He blocked my driveway, so I've done this.
That'll teach him.
Yeah, that'll learn him.
So the angry sex was with the bollard, not with another person.
It was with his wife on the bollard.
Oh,
right. Okay.
Okay.
The sheer weight of that.
I was just letting that run for a bit because it was far more entertaining.
It's definitely a concrete bollard, then, isn't it? Surely it's not. It's not like the plastic ones. That's not going to take it.
Well,
Dan says from bitter experience.
You should see the broken bollards in my back garden.
They tell a story.
Get full of them.
Every week. It was
Traffic Crime Central.
I know, it's hard enough getting in the skip.
So okay, but they're on a they are on a bollard. I mean, to Dan's point, it would have to be a concrete one, but still, it's not desperate. I see in my head, I'm immediately thinking of positions, and I really should stop now. Well, the thing is, I got through about 6 or 7 positions going, this is ridiculous, it's not going to work. I got to about the 8th position, I'm like, oh yeah, that'll work. Yeah, that'll do it. Yeah, no.
Yeah. Although it had escalated over a number of weeks. It's masturbation, also, which was his response to the CCTV system that was put up.
You what? I missed that first bit. He was masturbating to the CCTV.
Furiously, as his response to
everything's angry.
See, I thought initially, because I slightly misheard, I thought you said curiously masturbating.
What does this do?
Is there any other kind?
Yes. I couldn't quite work out how. Yeah. Oh, what's this feeling? And he was doing this CCTV. Yes, hello. I haven't done this before.
I'll wander out and get the neighbour to film it.
Yeah.
Oh my word! This is just one big sex comedy. So let me understand this. Right. So he was angry about they put CCTV, and so he was masturbating for a period of time over several weeks. And then they put up bollards, and he got furious, and that's when his wife got involved, and then they had the angry sex. Is that the story?
That's pretty much in a nutshell. Yes.
So he's angry about the CCTV, and then he's put bollards up.
Well, there's still the thing about the argument about who puts what car on which bit of tarmac, which is where it all started, and then it sort of escalated up to CCTVs and exhibitionism.
To be honest, it's not the worst personality quirk that every time you deal with confrontation and anger, you just resort to sex. It would make, office dynamics much more interesting. Every time there's a problem, everyone just starts swingers party breaks out.
Not in my office, please.
Can you imagine how many photocopiers they'll get through?
Yeah.
It's more to do with the parking, isn't it? So it's about dogging. Get Stan Collymore in there, sort out. More football.
Yeah, football players are real football players. I don't see the Lionesses doing any of that.
The Spanish might.
Yeah, the Spanish might be. Well, they'll be forced to do it. That'll be the difference. The head of the FA would come in and say, "I'm afraid this is what you need to do now."
They'll be putting bollards up between the FA officials now and the and the female footballers.
I mean, this is messed up. So I'm assuming it's true. It sounds like the sort of thing that would. It sounds like the sort of thing that would happen in any estate up and down the country in Britain. Having lived on an estate for donkey's years, that would be standard. Usually on a Friday night, someone having sex in their drive. That's like, I used to love that.
There was no bollards in those days.
If not doing it, then just watching. It was great. A simpler time.
I think it's true because as you say, there's such a disconnect that it has to be true.
Yeah, it's got to be false because there's no concrete was not mentioned. So if there's no concrete, there's nothing for me.
Oh.
That what you put on dating websites. There's no concrete. It's not happening.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, unless you properly reinforce the thing that we're going to be working on.
Yeah.
I want to see steel girders.
Yeah.
I want to see a structural report produced by a series of engineers.
If there's nothing a rocking, don't come a knocking.
Reinforced concrete, just to be
just
sure.
To be sure. Yeah.
Right. FlashArry, you're from Portsmouth, so I assume the story was actually involving you. Is this true or false? Not this time.
Not this time. It is true. Blandford Forum is apparently where all this furious masturbatory action is.
Curiously masturbating. We established that.
Furious.
The fast and the curious.
I was due to go down there. I was due to stay in Blandford for a couple of days for work, and I thought Googled what goes on in Blandford. And
what do I need to prepare?
This was your explanation to your wife, was it? You know, what goes on in Rome and all that. You know. Excellent. Well, thank you for your smut.
I honestly feel like I can't follow that, so I just think end it now.
That sounds like someone just walking down the street, though, outside where that was happening. That's the thing you'd say to your partner. You go, we can't follow that.
We'll just get the video. Canadian Zoo faces charges after taking bear out for ice cream.
It's the same bear. For the
it is. The ice cream was a long way away.
Yes. He's just luring it onto the plane. The bear going, there's going to be ice cream. And they're like, yeah, definitely. Just go into this cage. Is the ice cream in the cage? Oh, yeah. Go in there. And imagine that bear. He was furious. 10,000 feet in the air. Yeah, that's why he broke out. And imagine his disappointment when he got to the trolley on the plane. And it's like, there's just nuts. Oh, it's all tied up nicely. Yes, well done.
All bear stuff. It's bears and sex this week. But
yeah, we see bear obsessed. Right, sorry, back to your bear, your specific bear sketch. It can't be the same bear every time. Please tell me it's
just
not.
Unbelievable.
It doesn't mention anything about aeroplanes. And
The
it
water
doesn't mention
committee of the
anything
bear
about
world.
bollards.
Okay, so this bear was taken for an ice cream by the owners of the zoo.
Zoo.
I've purchased ice creams myself in my lifetime.
Yeah.
I've done this for other
haven't.
people. I have.
Wow.
I know. You heard it here first. But I know the mechanics of ice creams and the size and what have you, that you can take the ice cream to the person. The person doesn't have to be led to the ice cream. So
what?
I know.
Haven't you heard that saying? You can lead a bear to ice cream.
Yeah, but teach him to make ice cream, and he never has to go to a van ever again.
Yeah,
in the Bible.
Yeah. Yes, it's pithy. But I mean, that's just a poor justification for anything. Because otherwise, what? I mean, every feeding session with all the animals. Yeah, we're just taking the lions just down to Aldi for some sausages. Is that not risky? No. They like to shop. They like to see it themselves. They like to go for a bargain.
What flavour ice cream was it?
Oh, well, that's it. You see, the bear, maybe the bear was picky and he didn't know what flavour he wanted.
Yeah, he wanted to see what was on offer. So
yeah, he might wanted sprinkles.
Porridge and marmalade ice cream.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I has to go out, because the only place that makes porridge ice cream is like Heston Blumenthal's restaurant. And he's not got an ice cream van, has he?
Yeah, and even then you have to pick the snails out.
Yeah. If I was the bear at Heston's, I'd be worried that Heston would eat me. So yeah, this poor. Okay, I say he's a poor bear. He's having a whale of a time. So
he's
on a
having
leash.
a great time.
Yeah,
He's on a chain.
Got a chain.
He's
So
on
he
a
can still
chain.
attack the person who's taking him out.
He'll only attack him once he's had the ice cream. He's not stupid, the bear.
No.
He's going to wait,
Yeah.
have my ice cream first, and then, for afters.
Zookeeper flavour gives him a taste for it.
It was actually hand-fed the ice cream through the window of the pickup truck.
The bear is driving a truck.
No, he's on the passenger side.
Oh,
Don't
right,
you
okay.
listen?
Oh,
But he has to be on the chain to abide by the government thing.
moving bears.
Health
Health and
safety.
safety.
The very slack bear rules that they have.
Health and safety gone mad.
You can have a bear in your truck, but he does need to be on a chain.
Yeah.
Is that sufficient? Yeah, that'll be fine.
What's the worst that can happen?
What about seatbelts? No, what about it? I mean, how big is the bear? I mean, bears are huge, aren't they?
The bear is 1 year old. He's a Kodiak bear.
All
So
right.
it's not the panda that was on the plane.
It's the one that takes photos.
Yeah. You know those Kit Kat adverts that they used to have with the bear in the background? Anywho.
No, none
No,
of us do. None of
no.
us got the reference.
No.
No, I realised that they were gorillas as I was speaking. So.
See, I didn't know there was such a thing as drive-through ice cream places. So for that,
It's America, everything's drive-through, isn't it?
that's the most implausible thing. Is everything drive-through?
I think you can have a drive-through wedding in America, and
Yes, in
like that, yeah.
Vegas, yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They do that, yeah, with Elvis and all sorts.
if you're marrying Elvis, you can have a drive-through wedding. Otherwise, you can't
And all
get
sorts.
married
There's a bollard stop.
for the honeymoon.
where you just consummate.
Well, it's false because bears are lactose intolerant, famously, aren't they?
I was with it until they talked about the guy feeding the bear through the window, and I thought that.
Well, I think feeding a bear through a window is quite a good method
Well,
of doing
or-
things
or-
in general.
Yes, as opposed to getting it out,
Bear at
saying,
all.
"Come on, no, get the bear out of the vehicle." Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not feeding it unless it's
I mean,
here.
we've got a
Lick-
table here with the big chairs.
I want it licking ice cream off my face.
I
Yeah.
stand corrected. It's true.
It is apparently true. At one point, the zoo's bears has even learnt to pee in a cup.
As payment?
Hold on, that's a whole different. You should have
Yeah.
done that story.
That's next week's story.
He's peeing a cup. From what range?
From what angle?
From any bollard.
From a plane from 10,000 feet up. That's why he's furious, because he missed. He'd spent all that time training, and it's such the margin for error.
It's like a
so
circus
small.
bear, isn't it? Where they dive into a cup from a. Or is that the gym?
Is that the reward? Is ice cream the reward for pissing in the cup? Or
No,
is
no,
pissing
no,
in the
no.
cup what he does after he's had his ice cream?
It's a completely different thing. The peeing in a cup was to participate in a Scottish veterinarian study aimed at measuring baseline norms for bears.
What?
Two
And if you-
two bears, one cup.
Yes. I mean, seriously, what kind of norms are they trying to measure? If he can piss in a cup, he's definitely not normal. Because
Gifted.
bears shit in woods, as we know, and we've got documentary evidence of that, they don't pee in cups.
I'm guessing what they're saying is that this zoo has highly trained bears.
I think, yes, they are. And they're saying on any day of the week, you don't know what kind of stuff the bears are going to be doing. It could be ice cream eating day. It could be peeing in a cup day.
This is clearly not true, and it's some marketing ploy to get bears to willingly go to a different zoo that's got really shit conditions. But we'll give you ice cream, and you
Yeah.
get to pee in a cup.
Yeah.
Get in this crate.
I'm assuming NewsBiscuit is sponsored by some sort of bear manufacturing thing.
Sponsored by cocaine.
Bear manufacturing.
I mean, we're sponsored by Big Bear. Yeah, because we've so many references to bears, and I'm amazed now if anyone tells you something crazy a bear has done, I'm going to believe it, because they can, they pee in cups, they can eat ice creams, they can fly in planes, they can take cocaine.
I'm your new co-pilot, Paddington.
Call me Ben.
We're going to Peru. Right, okay, so finally we reached the magic 8-ball.
The magic 8-ball.
Each of our guests is going to give us their predictions for next month's news.
Overdose attempt ruined by accidentally cutting wrists on blister pack. Too dark.
With the rise of AI, the Googles will be asking us to prove we are robots by selecting all the images with 10010100110010. Which incidentally is a bicycle.
Global warming, East Anglian family to be adopted by a lap of cod.
And that brings us to the end of the episode. And I can reveal this month's winner is Bibby Stockholm for reimagining Butlins. And I'd like to thank our guests, Dan Sweryt,
Bye.
Getchley,
See ya.
and FlashArry.
Cheers.
And I leave you with these headlines. Popular dominatrix beating off clients with a stick. Inventor of the cut, copy, and paste dies at 74. And inventor of the cut, copy, and paste dies at 74.
You've been listening to NewsBiscuit, free to read and free to write for. We accept submissions from any budding satirist, young or old. Visit newsbiscuit.com to submit headlines, stories, and to support new writers.
NewsBiscuit. Real fake news.
Unfortunately, we can't put any bears in, so it's 2 minutes
Oh my
of podcast.
word. It's just bear stuff. I'm going to have to put something on the next email when I say to people, bring a
No
story.
bears.
No bears. I mean,
All the bear stories are true.
Trouble
No
is
bears,
that-
please.
that'll be a red rag to every one of our people, won't it? They'll be
Can you
just...
imagine?
It's a red rag to a bear.
Someone
Yeah.
from the OSPCA tunes in for one episode, and they're like, "Okay, second episode, okay." So, no, we're going to close you down.
Yeah.
Yeah, by the third episode, it's definitely a fetish, isn't it?